So, we made a Deadpool 3 fan film.
From a crazy idea to 1 million views in just 3 days. No big budget, no official backing, just passion and one heck of a merc with a mouth.
Alright, Wolvie, let's tango. Cue the music.
I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of how this fan film was shot, and towards the end of this video, you'll see the strategy behind the release of this fan film. Now, with 1 million views in just a few days sounds like a great success, but there were actually a lot of challenges and some really dark moments. Originally, I hoped to get the actual full costume from Deadpool, but the price for the full suit is just extortionate, over £2,500. And if you go for the cheap version, you end up with the fancy dress level quality. So in the end, what was affordable was just the mask. After a few hours of browsing, I found a good enough mask on Etsy that cost around £200.
Feels like a facehugger from Aliens who had a baby with a spandex. The original script was just going to be Deadpool and Wolverine, which was based on the announcement video uploaded by Ryan Reynolds with Hugh Jackman. In terms of location, I found some leaked footage from the Deadpool 3 set, and that gave me the idea of having an exterior scene in the film.
I have actually wanted to make this fan film for quite a long time, but we were looking to get the right people, waiting for them to be available, as well as getting the right costume.
So by the time when we were ready to shoot, I discovered new rumors about Deadpool 3 that it could be in a multiverse. So another fresh script with new locations and more characters.
You ever have one of those days where you're just itching to turn?
I wanted the opening scene of this fan film to feel really authentic, something that could be really the opening of Deadpool 3. The shot actually was inspired from the opening of Deadpool 2. See, it's exactly the same. The entire sequence was done on an electric slider that slides around me. There was just me for this shot, so I had to use a wireless monitor to check the framing. For the lighting, I used the Godox tube light to light my face, Godox F200 Bi for the top light with the egg crate to avoid any light spills, another Godox tube light at the window for a bluish color, one final tube light on the floor for the background, and this pretty practical light on the table. There's another video on my channel that goes into more detail how to light cinematically using these lights. Let's talk about the rest of the cast. We know there's gonna be Wolverine in Deadpool 3, and Louis James is perfect for this role because he looks just like Hugh Jackman. In fact, he actually played Wolverine before in my Morbius fan film.
Why don't you claw somebody your own size?
I also added 2 more cameos into the fan film because why not?
What the?
Sarah Alexandra Marks as Elektra. Sarah has appeared in many of my previous films, so I know she would pull off this role without any problems.
Who are you calling GQ?
Ray Shan as Shang-Chi. I mean, his name says it all. But Ray has also played a lot of different roles in my films, and he's just a cool Asian dude.
We shot the whole film in just one day, and we only had 24 hours of pre-production because everyone were free the next day, and we didn't want to miss that opportunity. So me and Louis only had a few hours to rehearse the fight scene, and that's probably why the fight didn't come out great, but I thought it was still good enough for the time that we had.
Can't see what I'm doing.
2 days before the shoot, the weather forecast said it'd be cloudy, which I thought would be great because it's not too harsh on the skin from the sun and it's not raining. But on the morning of the shoot, everything changed.
There's a fucking deer. There's a deer.
Oh dear indeed.
When we were halfway through the fight scenes, the rain came and it just didn't stop.
The whole fight sequence here was shot when the rain started and it couldn't be used properly in the end.
I feel like it was lucky that it was a Deadpool fan film because of breaking the fourth wall. I was able to save the film by him talking about what really happened, that rain started and it ruined the shot.
Big epic showdown, but plot twist. Fucking Rain decided to be the main star.
Instead, we moved on to the next scene where me and Louis had a smaller fight sequence. And you're probably wondering why Wolverine's blood is blue. So Louis saw this wild theory online about Wolverine having vibranium and we were like, let's roll with it. I mean, come on, it's Deadpool's multiverse. Anything's possible, right?
Vibranium? What in the multiverse is happening here?
The rest of the shoot went smoothly with the other two characters, Electra and Shang-Chi, and we even improvised some of the fight scenes at the end, where Louis did most of the choreography, which turned out to be great.
Enough! We don't have time for this.
Now. This isn't actually the first time I've made a fan film. This happened in Korea, right?
There was Squid Game, which had 120,000 views. Morbius, which had 346,000 views. James Bond 007, which had 1.6 million views. And The Matrix, which had a whopping 3.1 million views.
But that actually took 2 to 3 years. The reason behind how this Deadpool 3 fan film reached 1 million views in such a short time is because of the strategy of the release. Around the day of the release, I noticed there are lots of news articles around Deadpool 3 and its cameos. And because I published this fan film right in the middle of these news articles, somehow Google pushed my video right to the top when you search for Deadpool 3. When you're making a fan film, it's very different to other films that you make. As I said earlier, there were some challenges and dark moments in this project. People had a really high expectations. They were comparing our work with Marvel, who had £1 million budget, whereas we only had time to shoot it in 1 day.
Unsurprisingly, with the surge in views, came a tidal wave of negative comments. It was almost inevitable. But rather than letting these comments get me down, I turned the tables and made our interactions a source of entertainment. And let's not forget the overwhelming amount of positive feedback, truly the silver lining in it all.
Cut! Gotta run. Left my tacos on the grill. Peace out.
As I was wrapping up this video, I noticed the views on the fan film began to taper off. Maybe the initial hype died down, or perhaps the YouTube algorithm caught onto our average view percentage, which admittedly has dipped to 26.5%.
Making this fan film wasn't just about getting the views. You've got to have the passion and the love for the original film. And for me, I am a massive fan of Deadpool films, and that's why I wanted to make this fan film. Finally, I just want to thank the cast and crew who worked really hard in this production. And of course, everyone who watched, liked, shared, commented, yes, even those spicy comments. You've all made this journey unforgettable. Keep exploring, keep filming. Till next time.
Oh my god!